Alright, everybody, this is GM Riku. It is the 5th of April 2014, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit of some Age of Ascent. Illyria, I'm being shot right now. Illyria Games' brand new title that is in an open alpha state right now. That means that basically it's in a testing state, but it's in an open version of it. So what you can do is you can go over and try it out. If you want to join the test today, all you need to do is go to www.ageofascent.com. I'm going to try to get the sounds down a little bit so it doesn't just blow you away here, and it'll automatically load you into the game. That's something that's one of the key features of the game, is that you can load it within seconds. It's one of the things that we're hoping to achieve with, is that you can play this on a gaming PC like I'm on right now, or you can play it on a basic $200 netbook like I've done before as well. It loads and runs great. This is, of course, since it's an alpha, you're gonna notice some things changing over the different tests. We've done several tests over the last few months, and we've added a few features. In this particular one, in this particular test, I should say, you're going to see a few changes to controls, how the controls work, how well everything runs, all that stuff like that. Some graphical tweaks, stuff like that. So all you have to do again is jump into ageofascent.com, and you're going to automatically be loaded. Before I go up in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of slow down, and I'll show you some of the features. What I'm looking at across here, all these little dots are essentially those are all different players. Another one of the key benefits of this game is I'm going to see if I can shoot a little bit. I'm on the blue team. Yeah. One of the key benefits of the game is that this is running in your browser. It's using WebGL, so it's an instant load. It's easy to run. Like I said, you can run it on a very, very basic machine because it taps into your computer's GPU, and really we haven't had any issues with it at all, except for some of the NVIDIA cards. Oops, I better get out of here. Some of the NVIDIA cards on laptops will definitely do have some issues with running it, but that's an NVIDIA problem. I think they're supposed to maybe patch that soon. I'm not sure. But one of the other advantages of that is that we can load this on a basic laptop or netbook, just inside a browser, except for Safari, because they do not provide the WebGL support. We're not sure why, but anyway, you can just load it, and then you're instantly inside this massive universe. I mean, this can go on forever. The idea is that you're going to be able to, if you wanted to, fly from one edge of space. Literally, I could start out here and fly from one edge of the game all the way down. I mean, it would take forever. It's just endless, basically one seamless group of servers. I better let me try and actually kill somebody real quick. I'm not terribly good. There is a turbo button we've added. Some different sound effects. That's my team member. He's gonna kill me, I think. Let's see if I can get out of here. These bases here are non-functional right now. Ooh, people added some new voices. I'll show you while I'm kind of waiting to spawn here. These bases here are non-functional right now, but later on we're gonna have hopefully some add on some usage for all of those. I mean, it's gonna be hopefully a pretty epic, enjoyable thing that's instantly loadable, that you can jump into without having you can just jump into it any time. We even have some video on ageofascent.com of controlling the ship. You'll actually be able to control your ship using other devices like your cell phone while you watch on the monitor. So you could have your ship and all the combat going up on your large screen or on your big screen TV, with PC going through there, your laptop plugged in through HDMI, and then you'll have your cell phone or device being able to control the ships. So let's see here. I'm gonna let's try something here real quick. Combat going. All right. Check. All right. Let's go get back in. Okay. So right now it's very basic stuff. We're just really testing out, and we're trying to push. We're trying to really work a lot of the kinks out of the basic. What am I, blue again? I always forget. Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to work out some of the basic systems. Take care of any of the little bits of lag. There's really not. I mean, we've had hundreds and hundreds of ships here at one time. We have the ability to load the game as well with a bunch of bots if we wanted to kind of test out the loads, which the bots are literally just they act exactly the same as a player would. as far as load on the system. So we can put hundreds of them in here. And again, on ageofascent.com we have screenshots. Let me see if I can get this guy. See, we should have names float. We got some names floating above. We've added names. You can hit turbo. Ah! You know who just killed me? GM Stormcrow. That's pretty ridiculous. So we've added a few things like if you log into the game first today, you're going to be able to add your name. That represents basically some of the customization. You know, you're going to be able to have your own name and your own customization on that. Eventually, hopefully, with ship customization, items added to the ships, all that good stuff. You can read more about it on ageofascent.com, of course. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get joined back in. You can see there's quite a few players right now. There is, let's see, it's going to load here in a minute. My team count, by the way, we have a kill count of 335. The other one has only 93. Let's see here. It should be loading here in a second how many players we have online. But down here in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see I'm getting actually 60 frames per second. On my little, like I said, my little $200 netbook, I was getting 45 frames per second. And that literally is about the weakest PC I could find recently. And it really is, it really does work really well. Let's see here. I'm also streaming at see if I can get sorry, I'm putting up announcements as well. This test should go on for about 30 minutes today. We've had longer ones that lasted hours actually before. So the game can hold up without creating any extra lag on your system over time. It's really, for an alpha, an open alpha, it's very far along, but there is of course tons and tons to add to it. What you're seeing right now is just barely even just the beginning of it. As you can see, all the ships are the same except for color coding. See if I can get this dude. Who is that, by the way? See if I can get the name. Zach. I'm killing Zach. At least I'm attempting to. Where'd he go? Did I lose him? Oh, what? There he went. Since you can hit turbo, get out of a bad position here. There's Zach right there. See if I can go back in. We've had questions before about if it'll work with, if the game will work with different controllers, you know, joysticks, stuff like that. We have plans to add that, but that's all far down the line, so you know, we would not be able to say for sure how or when. For right now, we're just really busily, we're really going after these. Was that Zach again? No. Oh, there was. Who was that? There was either. Was that Stormcrow GM? Where did you can tell their name because they're really long. See, we've added these little sound effects, all this little good stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see who is this here? Roland Gunner. First kill. I only got one kill. That's pretty pathetic. If you do have any questions, though, you can always holler in the chat room there about Age of Ascent, of course. Later on, we're going to be doing Illyriad streams in the same way we're doing this now. So, Illyriad questions are for later. Ah, I'm getting hit. Oh, there he is. Showstopper killed me. But yeah, if you have any questions about Age of Ascent, feel free to holler. Sorry, checking some emails and stuff like that are coming in all the time. The just the absolute bullet hell you're seeing here, you should see some of the when there is 100 people playing. It's pretty interesting. The general idea is that we want to allow players to play like Illyriad, play how they want. We want people to be, oh, who'd I kill? Nick. That wasn't my first kill. File that bug. We want players to be able to just jump in really easy, have that you know, have the access point so easy that you can load up on almost any device. Pop in, you know, play with your friends, kill a few people, whatever, and then pop out. But if you want to play more in depth, similar to how Illyriad runs, then you're going to be able to do more down the line. But one of the first things we really want to get on solid ground is the ability to actually have a lot of players in one location. And as you can see, there's no lag now. There's probably, I don't know how many players right now. Usually we have our peak players running, but right now I think it's still updating. I'm gonna get out of here. Somebody's killing me. Ah! Ah! Alright. All this will change, by the way. All this pop up and everything like that. But what was I saying here? The idea is that we want players to be, if they want to, get 6,000 of them together in one area, they can do that. If they want to go off by themselves, they can do that as well. We don't want it to affect the performance at all. So that's why we're really, during these play tests, we're really pushing just trying to get numbers into an area, and then trying to get those players to pile on each other. We have the ability during the test we did a few weeks ago, where we spread everybody out amongst just all the different servers that we had. I can't remember how many servers we had. I think over 100. I can't remember. I'll have to verify. But once we spread those players out, we found that the problem then was that we had too much space for the number of players we had. So it's a really interesting. It's a really interesting thing that happens when you have too much space or too large a space. Oh, there's Stormcrow! Ah! What a jerk! I'm gonna get him. You can tell the GMs because we have longer names because we have the two-parters. Everybody else's have short names. Let's see here. Where'd he go? There he is. There he is. Ah! Come on! Now, if I need to reduce my speed a little bit here and get behind him, get it back up there. Oh. Oh, that's showstopper again. The sounds, of course, all these are placeholder sounds. Some of them might stay and some of them might change. It just depends, but just so you know. Just like the graphics and everything. But, kill assist. Who did I assist with? Did I help assist to kill a Stormcrow? Because that would be it. Will there be customizable spaceships? There are plans to have customizable spaceships for sure. Really, the spaceships are really what it's all about. But we also have a lot. Who's shooting at me? It's kind of hard to talk and play this type of game at the same time. We have a lot of plans to customize spaceships. In fact, that's going to be kind of one of the key driving factors of the game. You want to be able to jump into your ship and have it be unique. Have it stand out from the crowd if you want to specialize it. All that good stuff we want to do. All that. Ooh, is that who I think it is? No. Remember, if you want to try the game, just go to ageofascent.com right now. It'll load you in automatically. But yeah, there's all sorts of plans for that. We have it all listed on the site. Let me see here. Actually, I could just go to bloop, bloop. This is it's going to load me, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot. It's going to actually load me into a separate game. Once the test is over, right now as it goes, if you load into Age of Ascent, it's the information sections and all that are going to be. It's going to put you right into the game. But yeah, there's definitely plans for customization on all sorts of fronts. But as far as the ships, talking about, we actually had during one test we had a kind of a little hotbar with some of the different add-ons that you could activate. We were testing with that a little bit. It will go up. We'll try that out over the different tests. We'll throw some different things in there. Let's see here real quick. And so that'll all be tested over the next several weeks or months as we develop the game. Look at all the bullets. See, it can get really. The bullets right now just do not die. They just go on forever and ever. The idea being that somebody could shoot here and it actually would carry through the servers. So I think that's going to be tweaked. But it's an interesting. It's really interesting. Oh! Ah! Who'd I get? Who did I get? I don't know who that was. I couldn't read their name. But that's all tweaking we have to do as we test. What we do is we watch the files. Actually, we'll go back watch the recordings, the files. You're getting owned? Yeah, I'm getting owned pretty good. But just bear in mind, whoever watches this now, or especially if you're watching this later on our YouTube channel or on the live stream recorded page, that all of this will change a lot. So this is really barely even the tip of the iceberg game. This is just really a kind of a mechanical test to show off the systems and for us to really tweak the flight excuse me, the flight controls, the sounds, little stuff like that, how stuff looks, how it generally plays. We're trying to get it on a nice solid foundation before we ever attempt to push it out there. Oh, let's go ahead and push this over here. Let's push this over here. Hello.
1 second.
Oh, let's push this over here. Sorry, everybody. That's GM Stormcrow calling me right now. Ah!
Can't do anything without my wife. My headphones.
So that's GM Stormcrow is going to join me in just a second. You're hearing him on the other. Let's actually get him turned up a little bit here. I'm going to turn off the audio of the game. Hello, are you there?
Hey, Bo, how are you?
Sorry, I had to turn the audio and stuff down here of the game so I could turn you back up.
No worries.
You killed me earlier.
Yeah. Woohoo!
You know what's funny is just adding the names, the ability to add your name to a ship. I mean, it's really, you can see people playing it differently during the test. You see them saying, I just killed so-and-so.
Totally. One of the things we put in this week, which we didn't have last week, was actually who killed you. So it's not just who you killed; it's also knowing who killed you.
Right.
And that's really cool. Small changes like that, incremental stuff. It's all about the communications there and making sure it's all talking together at the same time. But yeah. That's you get people sort of defining who's their nemesis. Who's really big guy. I've just been killed like 3 times by Lycan, and Cerberus killed me as well, which
Oh, was that so? Cerberus? I didn't see him in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, isn't a Thundercat here?
I hope so, but I'm sure he is. Although he might be frantically pedaling behind the scenes, going.
Okay. That's right. I would have sworn I might have saw GM Cerberus is probably who I saw. Because I saw another GM because I said you can see our names because they kind of stick out a little bit. But anyway, so what we're gonna be, what we were talking about earlier, and somebody asked in the chat room was talking about the customization of the spaceships. Now I know it's really, really early on, so we're not definitely giving too many details about in dates and all that good stuff. But what were we looking at for the ships kind of customization? He was wondering about that.
Well, a hell of a lot of customization. Basically, we have an initial goal of 10 distinct ship classes, ranging from tiny ships, cutters, scouts, through frigates, cruisers, destroyers, battleships, battle cruisers, and all the way up to capital ships, as well as specific transport ships, science ships, all the rest of it. But in the very short term, what we're going to be doing is we'll probably, maybe not for next week's PvP, but for the week after, hopefully we're going to have different ship models. So there'll be you can have a frigate, which is the current ship that you're in, or you can try a very fast but very lightly shielded black gun, or a long-range sniper, or a tank.
Oh wow!
So those are probably the 4 first types that we'll bring out. But the whole ship system that we're building is a modular one, so you should be able to fit your own weapons and your own enhancements, engineering, defenses, and so on.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, I could definitely see, like I was telling the stream, and of course, people who are watching this later, you can always ask questions. I'd go to Age of Ascent, probably sign up for the forums. That's probably one of the best ways to start putting some input in there. But over the few tests there's been quite a few tests so far. I guess there's been what, six or seven?
No, in total, I actually think this is test 11.
Really?
Yeah.
But each time there's a test, there's something more added to the game. And I was saying that at one point we had kind of a little hot bar thing. You're experimenting a little bit with that, and just kind
of. For pure public tests, this is number 4.
Okay.
But we had a bunch of internal tests with the Microsoft and Nokia guys who've been helping out. So we maybe had 6 tests with them, and then this is public test number 4. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, each time there's always something a little added to the game. Is the process when you're after a test, do you kind of go back and check out the information on it? Is there? I take it there's some kind of smart guy file that I'm not aware of that will let you see the information and how everything performed.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's logged. We actually built our own entire logging infrastructure. Charon, the ferryman who takes the dead across the Acheron and the Styx. mythology. Charon is basically our bit of code that takes the dead, i.e. bad things that have happened, and logs them, as well as good things as well. So we have this entire system that logs everyone's frame rate, everyone's browser, hardware, OS, the whole thing, basically, everyone's experience. We actually take complete recordings of every ship position and every bullet being fired. So we basically we could actually run an entire replay of the match that's going on currently. Yeah. So we record everything in huge detail because it's the only way we can work out where things are going wrong. We're running this current public alpha is running out of the East Coast US data center. And there are people all around the world who may be getting bad pings, small, their latency might be larger, and it's really important to us to be able to understand that and work out how best to cope with that.
Right.
When the full game goes live, we're going to run it in data centers all around the world, all linked together on a dark fiber backbone. But for the moment, anyone playing in Europe is literally transatlantically playing this game at the moment, which is kind of cool because it still works pretty well for most people.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard too many complaints about issues with ping or lag or any of that type of stuff. Graphically, it looks great as well. But I mean, every time there's like the stations eventually had, I think, a glow put on and some different effects. Are you worried about? I mean, is it the type of system where you can kind of add more of those graphical bells and whistles and it really not hurt performance, or are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because WebGL uses the GPU, there's a lot of post-processing effects that we can do. For example, at the moment running in the game, you've got bloom, which is where light sources kind of bloom. They coalesce. You get a glow around them. We've got film grain running on, which is a filter that kind of gives it a filmic quality. It provides some noise to it. We've got there's some lens flare going on. We had lens flare full on last year.
Oh, that's what's different. Oh,
yeah. I took it out.
I liked it.
We all like it, but I think what we need to do is we need to make it a slider.
That was fun.
We have a slider going from no lens flare to J.J. Abrams.
Okay, I see.
We have a bloom flare that goes from none to Orlando, and then we have a film grain that goes from none to Hitchcock.
Wow.
Basically, we allow people to select their own level of effects put on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because some people really love it, and some people. Like me, the lens flares for me was just, it's just too bright. There's too much going on. You can't even see the screen really because there's just too.
It's there's some other kind of PvP based games I've played in the past, and they have graphical systems where you can adjust it. And a lot of people will crank down everything so people won't hide in the shadows or anything. So I can see that definitely as a benefit to some people. Or if it does seem like they're having a problem running it with the lens flare and everything, which I don't think they would, but if they did, they could try that. I liked it myself, but it would definitely kind of covered your vision sometimes. So
absolutely. It's a personal. I think what we need to do is we need to find a sensible default level for what we think is the best experience that everyone's going to like. Because if we take all of the effects off, the graphical effects, the game, it looks very, very static. It looks like an artist's illustration almost.
Right.
It's only when you start getting these graphical effects that it really comes to life. So they don't generally have much impact on the graphics card processing. It depends how much stuff is going on, of course, and how big your graphics cards are. And
right.
But as you know, Bo, this kind of we run on a $200 Chromebook.
Yeah.
So we're not asking for high-end kit.
Right, and in case somebody, because we did have several people ask us about this, in case you did have any problems running it on a notebook with an NVIDIA card, we put up in our Twitter feed at Age of Ascent, there's actually, I think, a good workaround, isn't there, out there for that now. He's in the middle of combat. He's going to be like me and won't be able to talk while he fights. So
I'm just telling, just so everyone knows, I'm telling Ben to put the box in. So
yeah, let's see some bots. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to see some bots, now is the time. These bots are programmed to start red and blue and fly towards each other and shoot, I think, 4 times a second with a relative accuracy at any kind of opposite team member.
Okay.
So if you get in the middle of them, it's going to be, yeah.
Okay, so just so people understand, the bots we're looking at, they're not being controlled. It's something that we can add into the system to test the loads and all that. But they will put the same load on the system as a player will. But as you see, once we start getting the bots in here, you're going to look at all these little dots. We can put. How much was that? I thought the most I saw at one time, I mean, just hundreds and hundreds, and it's ridiculous. It's like crazy. What it shows is that the system. It's important to test this because you want players to be able to pile into a system if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really important is that these bots are. Everyone understands these bots aren't running natively in your browser. These are actually network traffic bots, so they are performing the same. Network, your laptop and your keystrokes to the server. So this is just our way of basically load testing the system with artificial players.
Here, I'll show. I'll stop here and I'll show people how many you can. It just gets insanely fun. I mean, I can't wait to see 500 people piling on each other. It's going to be great.
And you know what? We have to take this bot code and we have to apply really good AI decisioning to it. And suddenly you've got mission running and PvE stuff. Mm-hmm. When these bots aren't just going in one direction and making one decision to shoot. When they're actually choosing whether to run or to fight or to hide or to call in reinforcements or to mm-hmm. whatever it is they choose to do. This is basically this is just a test. It's just showing to everyone how much stuff we can have going on at any one time.
Right.
Because during these tests we get 50, 100, 200 people turn up, and that's really cool. I love it, and I hope everyone comes back every week. But to really push the system, we have to put in 1,000 players. We have to put in 2,000. We have to really load it up just to see how it reacts and to see how everyone else's performance hopefully stays the same rather than the degrading.
Dude, you should see what I'm looking at. Oh my gosh! How many did he put in now?
I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Look at that! That's awesome.
Let me just ask Ben.
No, but it does. It's going to show off. Nazga said he's on a crappy laptop with a crappy internet connection, but he has 30 frame. And he has fraps on, and 30 frames per second. I'm sorry, and 60 latency. So cool. not bad at all.
Yeah, well, it's extremely lightweight. We've written from scratch our own entire messaging stack, basically. Mm-hmm. We've basically rewritten TCP/IP to kind of work like UDP does, and we are. I mean, it's very extreme the messaging that's going on here.
Right.
At full capacity with well, I won't even say how many ships, but we're handling, and we've done this with load tests. We're handling 267 million messages a second. And that's actual messages, not just these are useful messages like a bullet has been fired or a ship has moved or a key has been pressed. It's not just hey, I'm a SYN-ACK on TCP. Right. So we handle more messages in a second than Twitter does in a day, I think. The system's really quite extreme.
Yeah. So all you need to do is turn those little dots, those little bullets, into pictures of cats, and we could have a competition on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. No useful information has ever been transmitted on Twitter.
Oh, we love the Twitters. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. I think this extreme stuff is fun to show because it does give people an idea of the potential of, all right, you want to hang out and just go, chill out with your friends in groups of 5 and go pick off people, that's cool. But if you want to get together and with, gang warfare style, versus the other guys, you can do that as well, and just, it can definitely show you how, hey, this guy's been killing me like 3 times in a row now. Let's see here. He was asking earlier, I don't know how far you want to go into, but talking about the stations that we're seeing in the background. Was there anything you can kind of comment on that, or talk about what the station's use will be, if there will be any?
Those aren't actually stations; those are carriers.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the little sneak peek there. Those will be drone carriers.
Mm.
We have different station models for actual space stations. So yeah, these are big